All right, so welcome to the regular meeting of the Park and Recreation Commission meeting of February 16th, 2022. The time is 6 p.m. And Becky, do you want to do the roll call roll?
All right, thank you. Commissioner Cabales?
Here.
All right, Commissioner Emerson is absent today, as is Chair Gutierrez. Commissioner Machado?
I'm here.
All right, and Commissioner Sandoval?
Here.
Thank you.
Do we have any members in the public members in the audience?
We
No?
do not. No.
Okay, so then I think we move on to any amendments to this evening's agenda. None. Great. Then I will call agenda item number 1, which is approving the regular meeting minutes of January 19th, 2023.
I move to approve the minutes for the last meeting.
I second.
All
Okay,
right.
Becky.
Yep, Commissioner Cabales?
Yes.
Commissioner Machado?
Yep.
And Commissioner Sandoval?
Yes.
All right, motion approved. Thank you.
Great. Agenda item number 2. Public comment from the audience regarding items not listed on the agenda. Unless that's changed in the past minute.
No, we still don't have anyone in the audience. Thank you.
All right. And agenda, let's move to item number 3, introductions, awards, recognitions, or presentations.
I think the other folks on the call here are going to be presenting, and I don't see anyone else here, so I think we're good to go.
Agenda item number 4, the San Rafael Community Center and Albert Field Annual Report.
We're moving right through this agenda. Real quick, I will say just a couple things about Steve and Darcy. I think that you may have seen them on these calls in the past at the commission, but Steve Mason is our senior recreation supervisor for the city, and Darcy Chalou is our recreation supervisor for the San Rafael Community Center. And they're going to be sharing some information specifically about the community center programs and the programs that happen at Albert Park this evening. So I'm going to turn it over to them.
All right. I think every time I speak to you guys, I'm in a different role. So my name is Darcy Chalou. I'm the recreation supervisor now here at the San Rafael Community Center. I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, can everybody see that okay? All right. So just a bit of background, the San Rafael Community Center here has an auditorium, rentable clubroom space. We host the Golden Airs. We provide a lot of rentals for the community in a variety of different classes. We have a playground right outside, 4 tennis courts, baseball field, and a softball field. Marin Bocce Complex, which is city owned but operated by Marin Bocce, is also adjacent to the community center. So we'll just talk about the rentals that we're seeing here at the community center, the different classes we have going on. I'll give you a brief update about the Golden Airs program, Albert Field, the tennis courts, some different community services that we're doing, partnerships, and then the fiscal analysis. So these numbers are what's reflected for 2019 to 2022. I'm sure you guys all know what the decrease in numbers came from. Looks like we are slightly increasing, which is great. Not back to where we want to be, but we've had some pretty difficult staffing shortages this last year. So I'm really hoping with this new 2023 that we are almost fully staffed, that we'll be able to start programming out and renting out more space in our facility. The auditorium mostly holds one-time private rentals, such as quinceañeras, weddings, birthday parties, receptions, celebrations of life. And then we have a church group on Sunday mornings that's here every single Sunday, and AA group that's here every Tuesday evening. We also have club rooms at the community center. We have a total of 4. 3 of those club rooms can turn into one bigger room or be sectioned off and rented out as 3 individual rooms. Those are usually for smaller meeting spaces. And we're seeing a lot more of a request for those, just different clubs throughout San Rafael. And a couple of just community rentals that we have are for a free tax preparation and guidance for older adults. We have the Red Cross blood drive that meets every 3rd Wednesday of the month. And that's all for that one. And then the classes in 2022, we had Ikebana, which is a Japanese flower arranging class. They've been with us a long time. Their new part of their curriculum, as you can see in the top left picture, is their students have to design with the space. So we really have been getting to benefit with flowers in our office or in the front of the community center. They've been coming in and just looking for a space to design and bring us something new each week. So that's been really fun. Scott Jensen, who's pictured in this middle picture, came back to us after several years of not teaching, and he's teaching a variety of different Kung Fu classes at the community center. We've got adult Spanish, fencing, summer camps, virtual coding classes, virtual workout classes, and of course our popular Tuesday and Thursday morning toddler program, which we call Jumping Jacks. This program has really seen an uptick in numbers. And yeah, I think 50 is the max that we'll allow in there. And we've actually had to try to keep people away. So just glad to see those kids coming back. And then this year we are bringing in a Tiny Talk Spanish class. We're really hoping to get theater back in here. We're very close. A screen printing class and Zumba, which actually starts tomorrow. The Goldenaires have brought a lot of their programming back. I think pretty much everything that had gone away during COVID has come back. They're in November, so the big picture here is their holiday craft fair that they used to do every year. In November of last year, they provided on a much smaller scale and paired it with a bingo, a bakery sale, and lunch fundraiser. Actually was really well attended, but it sounds like this year they're planning to bring back the full scale craft fair. Their holiday gala was very well attended with 140 members. They had a turkey dinner, live band, dancing, silent auction. And in fall, we were able to bring on a program coordinator by the name of Kara Riley. The city has an agreement with the Goldenaires to provide a recreation program coordinator to support their program needs as well as our program needs. So she is part-time Goldenaires, part-time San Rafael Community Center, and they welcomed her in August. And then all of the 2021 Goldenaires board members continued their role in 2022, which is a big deal that everybody stayed on and didn't have to look for anybody. Albert Field served Marin Academy Baseball last year, San Rafael Little League, Marin Baseball, San Domenico, the Ranch, Pacifics, West Marin Little League, MCAL, and the Bay Area Men's Softball League. 2 improvement projects were completed at Albert Field last year. We got ADA restrooms and a new access ramp that goes up to the grandstands. Sorry, this is an old picture, but it's on the third base side on the right-hand side of this picture. And then in fall of this year, they will finish a fencing project that will go above the ADA, the accessible ramp that leads up to the grandstand. And then for the tennis courts, so we have 4 tennis courts at Albert Field. 2 of them are lined for pickleball. They're community use with the purchase of a key. So we sell them for $50 for residents and $75 for non-residents. They can use that key from July to June each year. We're currently, we started last year and continue to rent out courts to Marin Tennis Academy, providing lessons to youth in the area. Excuse me. We've seen a lot of challenges this last year with the gates just being broken into. We only sold 59 keys last year to the courts and probably fixed the gates 3 or 4 different times of just getting broken into. So we're currently looking at how we work this system and exploring alternatives on how to better manage the tennis courts. And these are a couple of the community services that we provided in 2022. We provided space for curative COVID testing van. The medical outreach team at Ritter Center set up a van to talk to those experiencing homelessness. And then we provided space for a city-sponsored luncheon that was partnered with Marin County. And they served lunch. Had over 100 attendees. They got haircuts, could sign up for Medi-Cal benefits, blood pressure screenings, meet with case managers, and complete paperwork to enter the housing voucher process. That event was really well attended, and they saw great success from that. And we continue to find ways to provide that service again. And then this is the fiscal analysis for the last 4 years. Yeah, any questions on any of that? I'd say the biggest impact I think that we felt in 2022 was definitely staffing. I think March 1st, we will finally be a full team here at San Rafael Community Center. So looking forward to that and bringing more programming and everything back.
Thank you so much, Darcy. Commissioners, any questions to staff? Comments?
Yeah, hey Darcy, a quick question. In regards, you had said the theater program was about coming back, and what are the hurdles? I guess my question is, what are the hurdles in bringing it back? What are we facing in regards to bringing that program back?
Yeah, just getting a program director to commit to teaching their program here. So we don't have anybody on staff that would be leading this. It would be an outside organization or company or just somebody interested in bringing that here. And Jason, who's our after school enrichment program coordinator, has made some good effort towards it, and we're just hoping they finally commit. So it's just gathering all of the required documents from them and making sure that we can provide all the space that they need. You know, maybe not just one night a week, but a couple different nights a week.
Got it. And then one other question. In the photo, I guess a couple of slides back, there was the guy getting the haircut. What was that? what was that happening? What was happening there?
Yeah, so that was with the service provider luncheon. So they provided free haircuts for those experiencing homelessness. I think they did over 60 haircuts or something. Yeah,
That was awesome. What a change,
Yeah.
a change in his look.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that was really cool. Yeah.
I guess I did have a question in regards to, have there been any inroads in any partnerships and programming with Davidson? I know that that had kind of been something that had sort of been tossed around before, and I'm wondering if there had been any progress towards that.
Yeah, we met with Davidson, let me say that in fall of last year, to try to get some programming going, including a theater program. And just in talks with them, it was like they have the kids and they're ready to put them in the programming that we have here. And our biggest struggle was just finding that instructor that was willing to take on a class that they wanted. I know Jason has a lot of contacts and reached out to a lot of different people to try to figure out if they could provide those services. And like, we'd love to have them. We've got the space. I'd love to program out more. It's just finding that body that's willing to teach those programs.
Right, just jump in and share too. I think in the big picture, we are always interested in partnerships with the schools, and one of the reasons that Catherine isn't here this evening is because she's been sitting in on this series of meetings with Santa Rafael City Schools to talk specifically about partnerships. I think one of the things that the schools are looking at are more extensive wraparound services that they can provide on their campuses. And they're looking at ways they can partner with other agencies. And so they invited us to sit and learn more about what they're looking for and ways that we might be able to partner in the future. And we're hoping that that can be a good impetus for some conversations down the road to talk more about, like, how can we work together? And so I hope that might lead to some good conversations in the future.
Great. Yeah, that's always been something that I was hoping to advocate for here as a commissioner, there's a gap for middle schoolers. And I've always kind of thought that the B Street Community Center could be sort of like that third place, like the middle schooler Starbucks or something, where they can go to, not home, not school, but another place that they're welcome to be and want to be. So that was something I hope to go for.
I was going to just mention too, I know one of the things that Darcy showed was some information about our tennis key program. That is something that we've seen in our Park and Rec master plan, the need to potentially reassess how we operate the reservation system, the rental system for those courts. And so that is something that we're hoping will bring some information to you maybe later on this calendar year to talk about options, share some more information about the tennis program, and maybe explore what that might look like in the future. We have seen a reduction in the number of keys that have been purchased over the years. I think in 2020, we saw about 100 purchased, whereas this year we've seen around 60. So definitely a reduction there, and we're taking a look at what model might work better for the future, or if we need to make different changes administratively or operationally to that system to improve it.
Is the gate lock being vandalized? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
And are people getting on the court and vandalizing the courts, or just breaking the lock?
Mostly breaking the lock, it seems like, right, Darcy?
Yeah, I think just to get in, and my assumption is to play without having to pay for a key, or stuffing the locks so that they don't lock. And so then it just stays open. There was a little bit of vandalism going on, I think, earlier last year, but nowhere what it could have been.
Can I ask you a question? In regards to all the homeless tents and the like in the parking lot at Albert Park, is anything being done about that, or what's going on there?
Yeah, that's been an ongoing conversation. I know Darcy, Steve, myself, Catherine from the Library and Recreation Department, we have all been very actively involved in conversations with our police department, with other departments. You know, how can we look at this comprehensively? And you know, these are challenging conversations. I think what we're looking at right now is we're continuing to talk cross departmentally about what makes sense. I think we know that our Little League season is starting up pretty soon. That Albert Stadium is likely to get a lot more use coming up in the next few weeks. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that we can meet everyone's needs in our community. And so we're actively talking about that. That's been an ongoing conversation. And there's definitely a high level of awareness of what's happening there in front of the baseball stadium. And we're definitely trying to work on some solutions to make sure that everyone's needs are met. So I think that's where we're at right now, but it is an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, it's just, and I feel that, I mean, we certainly have to have compassion for all those folks, and yet it is it is quite like it takes your eye for sure, you know, when you're driving by, and I know we need to figure it out, and it's a hard thing to deal with, but I was just asking the question, so thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's a good question. I know, you know, some of the conversations we've had recently have been, we've had some really good news. You know, I know our police department has been actively engaging with the individuals who are there. And I know they shared recently that there's some great connections with case managers, and that I think 3 or 4 people recently have volunteered to move to shelters. And so we're really excited about that. You know, I think there's been some good conversations there, and I think we're headed in a good direction. But like I said, I think, you know, these are complicated conversations. I think things take time, and we want to make sure we're really looking out for everyone. So I appreciate that empathetic approach you shared too.
Good, thank you.
And of course, we want everyone, and we want our community users to have a great experience when they play baseball and Little League and enjoy the park. So I think we're also really considering that. How do we make sure that everyone's in a safe environment, that it's a sanitary environment, that everyone has a really good experience when they use the facilities.
Thanks, Craig.
All right. Thanks, commissioners, for the questions, and Darcy for the presentation. I think now I would open it to public comment if we have any members of the public.
We do not. Thank you.
Great. So I would like to request a motion and a second to accept the Centerville Community Center and Albert Field annual report.
I motion to accept the annual report.
I'll second.
Becky, you want to do a roll call?
Yeah, thank you. We have Commissioner Cabales,
Yes.
Commissioner Machado,
Yes.
and Commissioner Sandoval.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Motion passed.
All right, moving along. So the next agenda item is number 5. Other brief reports on any meetings, conferences, or seminars attended by the commission members.
I was at the Pickleweed Advisory Committee. Was it 2 weeks ago, Steve? 2 weeks ago. So they granted the YMCA fee reduction for summer camp. They also had they also raised funds for the 10 families out at 400 Canal that were displaced, and by having a food drive out at a Pickleweed. Also, over the holidays, Pickleweed was deep cleaned. And Steve, let me know if I'm saying if I'm out of line here, but he said it was done by one person.
Juan Carlos and a couple community service workers, or a custodian and a few volunteers.
Yeah, and just and made that place sparkle. And there were the question was asked, how did the building deal with the rain? And there were a lot of leaks. And so that's something that's going to be ongoing and going to be taken care of in the future. In January, there was a intro to pickleball. There's a dance class, and there was drop-in pickleball, that open gym, and they started a brand new ballet class. And that's what I've got. What have you got, Steve? Did I miss anything there?
Mark, you did a great job. And actually next month you get to receive my report. So we'll update you with even more stuff. But Mark, you did a great job. Thank you.
Yes, and it was actually it was cool. I mean, it was a very brief meeting though, right? As they go. So anyhow, it was good to be part of it.
Good to have you.
I'm assuming there's still no public people in the audience, so we'll move on to the next agenda item. Staff comments, other brief program updates, and schedule of upcoming meetings and events.
So a couple things I did want to just call out that are on the schedule of upcoming events in the agenda packet. One notable one is on Tuesday, because Monday is a city holiday. So on Tuesday, our city council is going to be receiving an update and report on the Park and Recreation Master Plan. I know we shared that with you at last month's meeting, but our consultant from RHAA, Lauren, is going to be sharing a similar update. And so there's a staff report associated with that. You should be able to find that. I think that has been published to the website as of today. And if you're interested in participating in that meeting, that information is also on the website. But we're looking forward to sharing that update with council. And then the next steps in the process following that will be to hear their feedback. We're going to continue to work on the final report. Our hope is that we'll have a final master plan by the end of March or early April. So we're going to keep you posted on the progress of that plan. Falkirk, the 2023 Winter Invitational Exhibition is still ongoing up there through February 24th. I think I shared this at the last meeting as well, but the age-friendly San Rafael celebration, it's a co-sponsored program between the city and the age-friendly San Rafael Task Force. It's happening at the San Rafael Community Center on Sunday, February 19th at 3 o'clock. We have, I think, like 150 people are RSVP'd to show up to that event, and it's really specifically focused on our community members age 85 and older. So there's going to be raffle giveaways, music, dancing. It should be a really fun event. We are at capacity, so I'm not asking anyone else to show up or attend, but if any of you did want to stop by and say hello to the community members, I do know that Councilmember Kurtz is planning to be there, and maybe some other folks are planning to be there to say hello and just celebrate our community. So I want to make sure that's on your radar. The next Second Friday artwork is March 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. We are continuing to work on the Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project. So I know Steve has been actively involved in that. We're in the planning and design phases. So we're working through that process and also waiting to hear back from the National Park Service on our Land and Water Conservation Fund grant application that we've submitted. I think we're at the very tail end of that project. They haven't asked for any additional information at this point in time. We're just waiting to hear back on final approval of that grant, which is a $4.2 million grant. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. We're optimistic that we will receive that, and that's going to help clear the way for us to keep moving forward on that project. The Sun Valley Playground project is ongoing. We're making good progress there as well. And we'll keep you posted on hopefully when we have a grand reopening and ribbon cutting of the playground sometime later this spring. Chairlinda Pool is planning to open for the 2023 pool season on Tuesday, February 21st for a lap swim. You might recall last fall and winter, we started a new pilot program to extend our seasonal hours for the pool. We're going to continue that through the spring and are really trying to see what the demand is for lap swim or pool use in these shoulder seasons. So if you know of anyone who's interested in lap swimming, we are starting up on February 21st. Probably beginning in March, we'll start extending some of those hours to open up for other swim times. We're hiring, that goes hand in hand with that. So if you know of anyone that is looking particularly for summer jobs, lifeguards, swim instructors, cashiers for the pool, Candidates can apply without certification to become a lifeguard or to work at the pools. We'll provide training. So if you know of anyone who is interested in those opportunities, send them our way. I'd say the same thing. We're looking for facility attendants. We're looking for childcare instructors. So we are definitely employing right now and looking for more folks to join our team. And it's a fun team. So we're always looking for help recruiting. Our spring activity guide was released and class registration is now open. So hopefully everyone has received an activity guide in their mailboxes if they live in the community. Couple of fun ones. I thank you to your recommendation to acknowledge Carol Jacobs Ports for the California Park and Recreation Society Community Service Award. We attended that banquet this past weekend on Saturday, where there was some of our staff were there. And it was just a great way to acknowledge all of the work that she's put in. She had a chance to get up on stage and receive an award, and hopefully you'll see that in the next Friday memo. We'll share some photos of that. But thank you again. I think that was just very well received and a great way to acknowledge her. At that same banquet, one of our staff, Tiffany Haley, she was elected to become a director at large for the CPRS District 1 Board of Directors. So she had a chance to be installed into that role. So we're also very thankful for her efforts to help support the city on that stage. And another CPRS event on February 2nd, we hosted a community service day at Elbert Stadium at the field. And volunteers helped clear the dugouts, to help paint the baseball and softball dugouts, to help them getting the stadium prepped for the season. I think we had, Darcy, how many people showed up for that? About 15 people.
Yeah, I think 15, 17, somewhere around there.
And it was a lot of fun. People got dirty, people painted, had a good time. CPRS provided some monetary support for that. They provided food, and it was really great kind of community event to engage and network with others, but also really do some good work for the stadium. So thanks to Darcy for all her work to pull that together. I think it's a really great community event. And I don't know, Darcy, Steve, anything else I missed there that you want to add that you feel like these folks should know about?
Did you want to give an update on the preschool, the Pickleweed Preschool?
Yeah, actually, thank you. Pickleweed Preschool, I don't know if I shared it with this group. I think I shared it in the Pickleweed Advisory Committee meeting, the most recent one. We noticed some water damage to one of their buildings. They have 3 buildings down there, and one of them had some more significant damage. We realized the scope of it was significant. We decided we're going to need to demo that entire building and replace it. And so what's happened this week is our Department of Public Works crew has gone in and started to kind of clear some of the vegetation from in front of the building and to prep that building for demolition next week. Today, a lot of our staff went into the building and started taking all of the things, all the program supplies and equipment out of the building. So it's a huge team effort today to move things out and put them into temporary storage, move them to some different facilities. Next week, they're going to be going in and demoing the building. And then they're on a temporary basis going to be replacing it with a modular. So they're going to bring a portable building in and place it in the same site. We think that should help get us through the school season. And then in the midterm, we're exploring other options. And some of those include, reaching out to San Rafael City Schools to see if maybe they have some options for us. We've heard that they might have a couple of modulars that they're not using that we might be able to coordinate with them, or exploring other options. So then in the longer term, I think we're looking at other more permanent solutions that can really help with that facility. So that's something that just happened suddenly. It was unexpected. We're working through it. The team has done a great job of being flexible. And thankfully, this hasn't had a significant impact on the kids' experience in the program. And that's our goal through all this. We want to make sure that all of the participants down there have a great experience at that program. So that's a good point, Steve. Thanks for bringing that up.
All right, thank you, staff. At this time, I would invite questions or comments from commissioners and staff if you have any. No. And then we can open to public comment if there are any members of the public. None. Great. I don't think we have any other agenda items. Do we adjourn? Do I motion to adjourn? Do I have to motion to adjourn?
No, you just adjourn.
Okay, great. Yeah, then I will adjourn this meeting, and our next meeting is March 16th, 2023. Thank you
All
all.
right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Good night. Thank you. Good seeing everybody.
Awesome. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.